rain, fog, and I'm so happy to be here. What's up with your rotaries? That's like bullshit. It took me longer to get around the rotary than it did for me to get from Buffalo to here. I went around the mobile station. I stopped in there so many times that I found out that the clerk, is my son. I always knew it was going to catch up to me. Bullshit. You got to do something, fix it. Anyway, he's been getting on me about my drinking. The other night I got into bed and he says, "You're drunk." I said, "How do you know?" He said, "Because you live next door." My neighbors kind of don't like me, but I keep moving, but I think this set that we're with, they got used to me. So I think it's all good. How many people know about Buffalo? You guys just look perplexed when he said Buffalo. It's a real place. We have lakes, Great Lakes and shit, and things happen.
Like what?
Yeah, we have a really bad football team. That's what. Anyway, who's gone to Power Yoga before? Power Yoga. Anybody? Power Yoga. Yeah? Right? Okay, so you know what I mean, right? So, I have a lot of vices, so I decided to try to get healthy. You know, I'm trying. I know, it's horrible to try to get healthy. So, I have to keep the microphone up like this, so Alright, so, thank you. So I go to Power Yoga, and I decide to go for the very first time when I have the flu. I mean, I've done dumb things before, but that was by far the dumbest thing I ever did. I had a fever, sore throat, I mean, really, really sick. But my mentality was, it's hot there, it's a workout, and I'm going to sweat it out, right? I'm going to sweat it out, I'm going to feel really good. So I go into the room, it's 90 degrees, and I'm sweating to death, and I'm not even moving. So I'm thinking, oh, great, this is great. This is really going to work out really well. I feel good. They do a prayer. And I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm relaxed. I'm going to feel really good about it. And then all of a sudden, it starts, the boot camp. And the girl in the corner who does Power Yoga, you know what I mean, right? Boot camp. Downward dog, upward dog, side pose, forward lunge. I'm like, shut up! I'm going to die. So I'm sweating, I'm dying, I'm ready to cry. It's horrible. It's a horrible experience. And I go up to do a side pose. And the woman instructor comes in back of me, and she presses her body against mine and leans on top of me like this. And now I don't know if I'm like delirious from the fever, or if I smoked too much grass the night before, or if I'm still high in meth, so I'm not sure what's really happening. So I'm over like this, and I'm thinking, okay, well, usually I know you more for than 10 minutes when I'm in this position, but namaste. So, my girlfriend next to me looks at me and she says, are they supposed to do that? Is that normal? I'm like, yes it is, in prison. So, 10, 15 more minutes into it, I'm dying. I just want to go, I'm ready to cry. So I go up and do another pose, and everything goes black, and I pass out. Yeah, it was really crazy. So, I look up, and the instructor's over me, and she's saying, "Are you okay?" And I hear, "You passed away." And she's still talking, and she's saying, "I'll grab your mat and meet you out in the hall." And I hear, "I have pot and alcohol." So naturally I jumped up, because who wouldn't, you know what I mean? So I run in the hall, and I'm like panting like an animal, like I can't catch my breath. I'm really, really sick. So I go into the locker room, and I'm trying to straighten out. And I was splashed water on my face and everything. My friend follows me, and she's afraid I'm gonna pass out again. So I said, "Will you walk me out?" She says, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, I'm ready." And walk me out. And she says, "Back, just a couple minutes. Your shirt's on backwards. You don't have any pants on, and your mat is stuck to your ass." So I made some adjustments. It was all right. And it was one of the coldest days of the year in Buffalo. You know, the place that you guys never heard about.
Right.
So it was one of the coldest days in the year. And I'm soaked. I'm just drenched. And I get outside in my car, and I start the car and I start to go, and it's riding really, really bumpy. And I look at the dash, and my friggin' tire pressure thing light is on. And I'm like, oh my God, what else can happen, right? I look down, and I'm thinking, it's okay, just stay focused, stay alert, because I'm going to pass out, stay focused. I'm on my way to the doctor, so just stay with me. So I get to a signal, and a guy comes out of his car, and he knocks on the window, and he says, you have a flat tire. And I'm like, oh great, you're my savior, because everybody needs someone to report your flat tire. You're not going to help me fix it, because you got in the car and took off. When he takes off, I have a flat tire, and I'm like creeping to the next exit where I can get somewhere. So I find this apartment building complex, and I pull in where there are 40 empty spaces. So I have to get my clothes off because I'm soaked and it's freezing and I'm sick to begin with. So real quick, I take off my shirt and my sports bra because I'm going to lean over and get my clean sweatshirt. And just as I took off my sports bra, a car pulls up right next to me. Guy gets out of the car, knocks on the window, and goes, hey, you have 2 flat tires. I'm like, screw you, they're sanding. Oh, and I did go to the doctors, true story. I had bronchitis, sinusitis, flu, fever, you know, I had it all. And I was just trying to like bump myself off, you know, before the inevitable. But how many of you guys married? How many of you guys married here? Wow. One person, but you clapped twice? You slut. How many husbands do you have? No, are you married? Are you married? How many years? Oh, good for you. You're still dating. Yeah, 13. Oh, congratulations. At 13 years, I had to stop dating. My husband was really pissed off. I've been married 26 years. Yeah. Sorry for the butt. No, 26 years. I love him. I adore him. He's my best friend. I really do. And you know, when we're in the same city, it all works out. No, he is my best friend. It's a long haul. I mean, we married. You know, the sacrifices that you make, and for the rest 800 people here who are not married. So, we still fight about the remote control in our house, which is ridiculous. We have 3 TVs, but we're control freaks. So we're gonna find the same TV, and we're gonna argue about the remote control on what show we're doing. So the other night, I won the coin toss, and I get to watch my favorite show, Wives with Knives. Have you guys seen that show? No? It's a great show. It's a great show. Somebody snaps, usually the wife, and she plots to kill her husband. And I just love the brilliance about it, but what's not brilliant about it is that they keep getting caught in the show, and you would think the next wife gonna bump off the next husband would watch the show, so she'd figure out how not to get caught, right? You would figure that, but that's how stupid the show is. So anyway, we're watching the show, and again, we're married 26 years, finally agreeing on the show. We're watching the show, and this woman decides that she's having an affair, she wants to kill her husband, which... So she decides, she figures out how to rewire the house and the furnace in the house, where when it kicks on, all the fumes come back into the house, and basically he suffocates and dies. So she does that, her and her boyfriend, they figure it out. So they leave, they come back, and he's dead. So my husband real seriously looks at me and says, geez, how long does it take for someone to asphyxiate and die? And I said, 26 years. All right, well, you know, I've been up since 3 o'clock and in the morning. Not this afternoon. Not this afternoon, because I couldn't sleep. But I'm really thrilled to be here. You guys are a great audience. I want to introduce the next next character comedian. Oh, next
Coming to me?
yeah. All right, so next comedian. She's a doll. She came to Buffalo a few times for a show to perform with me. She's a great soul inside out. Very, very funny. Please give a great Rhode Island welcome to Karen O'Donnell. Hola. Mi amo Karina O'Donnell. Feliz Cinco de Mayo. Okay, not that. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Welcome to the village. Let's hear it for Rebecca. Hello. Very, very, very good friend of mine. Let's hear it for John Kelly, who always rocks his house. Let's hear it for Stacy and the amazing staff, my little boy. Let's hear it for you, the people, the village people.
Really?
Don't worry, I won't jump into YMCA as much as I want to. I'm
Go!
Later. Thank you for coming out in this horrendous torrential downpour. Almost had to build an ark day. You guys are troopers. Let me tell you about myself. My name is Karen. I am half Irish, half Italian, 53-year-old, lifelong Rhode Islander, married lesbian, grandmother of 2, with 2 rescue dogs and 4 rescue cats. I am not even in therapy, people. I just like to throw that out there. Does Shauna behave? I just like to throw that out there. Just in case anyone's still offended by the fact that I'm half Irish, half Italian. I know, it bothers me sometimes too. Do I want whiskey? Do I want wine? It's a tough call. So I mentioned I'm lifelong Rhode Islander. Do we have any other lifelong Rhode Islanders in the room? Wow. That always shocks the shit out of me because we're such an adventurous bunch. Right or not? Look, we shoot on a stage just on a whim. Route 6 and Seacon, bam! We're on stage. People don't get how crazy we are, they don't even know us. Right? I'm considered a rebel in my family because I was born and raised in Johnston and I bought a house in Warwick. Right through Cranston. We didn't even stop. Family's still talking about it, like I guess we'll never see Karen again. She was in Warwick, right over there. It's not our fault. Right? My high school class, they can't even hold a reunion. Do you know why? They all still live in the hometown that we got out of high school, they all still live there. They run into each other like twice a week in the supermarket. Why the F are they going to pay $85 for a dinner? To see each other twice a week. It's ridiculous. It's not our fault though. It really isn't our fault. We live in a state where it takes 1 hour to get from one end to the other. Right? Anything more than that is basically a vacation. We know it. We pull over, we get a room, we spend the night, we rest up, we drive back in the morning. That's how I roll. Right? And we know it's true. Look, did anyone get an invitation to a wedding or a function in Newport? Don't you lose your shit when you get that? It's like, Newport? Selfish bastards. They want us to drive all the way to Newport? We gotta get a room, we gotta spend it, we gotta go over the bridge? Why couldn't they have just had it at the Crump Plaza? Well, in Newport, not like we think it's a classy wedding, we get pissed off. Not our fault. Then I met my wife, married her. She's from Massachusetts. Anyone here from Massachusetts? Anybody? You crazy bastards. You think an hour and a half commute to work one way is a bonus. Us in Rhode Island, we gotta pull over, we gotta have breakfast, we be late for work every day. And she's adorable though, she has family in Maine. And she'll just randomly on a Friday say to me, oh, I'd like to go see my dad and brother up in Maine. I'm like, are you shitting me? No, that's not how we roll, honey.
We need to get a room, we need to pick a hotel, we need a pet sitter. You don't just shoot to Maine like it's, oh, yeah, let's go to Maine. She doesn't get it. She's getting it now, though. She is. She's getting it now. But we don't just shoot to Maine, especially at our age. As I mentioned, I'm 53, which means basically I'm old. Oh, sure I am. And I realize it every day. Like, there's things I used to do all the time that I can't do anymore. Like, for example, bending down and getting back up. It's getting problematic. So while I'm down there, I scope the whole area and I'm like, what can I do while I'm down here? Oh, look, there's the dog dishes. I know they're not eating for 7 more hours, so when we get them now, it'll save me a trip. It's ridiculous, it really is. I feel my age, and I know that too. Like, I used to, when I get out of work and I die to meet my friends somewhere to have drinks and cocktails and hang out and laugh for hours, right? Not anymore. Now I die to get home, put on sweats, make dinner, and the highlight of my night is watching Jeopardy. That's how I know I'm old. I live for Jeopardy. And not only do I live for Jeopardy, I actually, I make myself a contestant on the show. It's like, as I'm watching it, and I'm like, okay, I will be whatever contestant I feel I am after how many questions I answered. 99% of the time, I'm in third place. Happens. So I'm in third place, but I'm thinking, you know what? I'm in that spot where I can actually beat them. If number 1 and 2 get it wrong and I get it right, I got this. I'm the champion. Just happened the other night. Doesn't happen often. It happened the other night. And I'm like, shit, I got this. As soon as I get that final Jeopardy question, I'm the champion. They put up the final Jeopardy category, 18th century Europe. What the fuck is that? What am I gonna do with that? So I'm thinking if I was actually on the show, at that point, I would have walked up the set. They would have come back from commercial. There would have been 2 contestants. I would have been gone, and when my name used to be, it's gonna say I quit. Screw with you. Another thing I realized as I'm getting older is there's so many things they have now they didn't have when I was a kid. Like bottled water. When I was a kid, you turned on a faucet, poured it in a glass, and it was called tap water. Right? No one ever walked out of their house with a glass of tap water when they went on an errand. How do we survive? We can't go 5 feet now without a bottle of water in our hand. I don't care. I'm going to CVS, give me a water. I don't know how we didn't dehydrate, I really don't. There's a lot of it too. We didn't have baby sheets, we didn't have car seats. They slapped us on a blazing hot seat, no AC, no seat belt, here we go, run away. Right? We didn't have video games, we had board games. Does anyone remember board games? Yeah. Does anyone remember that game I hated, Mystery Date? Do you know why I hated that game? I never won. Every time I opened that damn door, there was some guy standing there. He had like a surfboard or flowers, and I'm like, where's the hot chick? Frig, I'm not looking for him. Yeah, what he's got? So I'm thinking of like marketing a whole new like mystery date game just for lesbians. Get it complete to lesbians, right? You open that door, and here's what you got. You got like your little like jock with a football. Right? You're gonna have your family with flowers and wine. You got your baby dyke with a backwoods ball cap. You got your little activists with their protest signs. I think that'll work. That'll work. Getting back to the shit they have now that we don't have, that we didn't have. They have the DVD players in the car, right? Watch a movie. They go in 15 minutes. They got a friggin' movie in. My brother and I drove to Florida and back with a pad and a box of crayons that we shared. The hell's that bullshit? And I also mentioned that we are lesbians. My wife and I, we are. Sometimes we feel like we're an embarrassment to the community.
My wife and I, we are.
We really feel like we're a letdown. I mean, we have the required number of rescues, the required number of cats. One of our cars is a Subaru. But we do not own one power tool. Not a one. Not a one. It's embarrassing. Like 17 years ago, we lived in this condo, And the neighbor's wife comes over and she knocks on our door. She's like this little power tool in her hand. It's like a little drill or something. She's like, my husband's at home trying to do something. I figured you guys can help. No. Oh, sorry. How embarrassed are we, right? And 20 years later, we're still together, and you know what our toolkit consists of? I mean, right now we should have a full set of craftsmen right downstairs in our bench, all neatly organized. We got like 3 screwdrivers, a hammer, a wrench, and assorted screws. That's our toolbox. We suck at that. But we're trying to make up for it. We're going to Lowe's every weekend, super early, for the home improvement classes. I bought my wife a little, like, power screwdriver for her birthday. And I'm buying a power drill for her anniversary. We're gonna get this. We'll turn it around. We'll turn this around. So I mentioned also that we have 6 rescues. I blamed that shit on Sarah McLachlan. No, really, right? Who can watch that commercial and not run out and rescue something? I don't give a shit what it is. We're rescuing it, right? You see that commercial? Puppies. So now we have a self-imposed ban on watching certain channels because we can't watch that shit. We can't afford 7 rescues. But I still have my Facebook friends with the death row puppies. Everyone have those, right? But this dog must be rescued in 24 hours. It'll be euthanized. And I'm like, shit. Please let somebody rescue it. Please let somebody rescue it. And you look at the posts and everyone's like saying stupid shit like, oh, I'd take it if I didn't live cross country. Oh, I really want that dog, but I already have 7. Or the best one is, I want that puppy, but I'm still in prison. That's not helping anybody, people. But always rescue. If anyone's looking for a pet, rescue, please. Don't buy, rescue.
Yeah.
We love our rescues, and you also know that they say rescues are such great stress relievers, right? Have you seen the studies say? Studies are bullshit. Because they do not relieve your stress. Trust me. In our house, my wife and I used to have a mind. We used to come home from work, have an intelligent conversation. Now what we do is run into them. Oh, pop-ups, you gonna go pee-pees? You gotta go pee-pees? Mommies are here, mommies are here, mommies are here, mommies are here. You wanna go out? Okay, go ahead, go pee-pees, go pee-pees, go ahead, go pee-pees, go pee-pees. And then you can have sup-sup. Okay, come on, all right, sup-sup, okay. Right? Then we make our sup-sup. Now we make our own sup-sup once we got them settled. Those are the puppies we get settled. Now we need to go upstairs to cat heaven with our 4 cats. Okay, so now we settle up there, and this is what happens. We settle up, and I don't know if anyone else has cats, but so they always seem to clean themselves at the wrong times. And is it just me that thinks they sound like they're amped up to something? It's like... and you're just trying to... Finally, they fall asleep right now. They're sleeping. You got that one asleep. Then you got 2 cats decide they're gonna get into a wild brawl, like you're in the jungle, at like friggin' 3:30 in the morning. Then we have 16-year-old dementia kitty. Okay, yeah, we love her to death. We'll keep her forever. She's staying with us. 16-year-old dementia kitty wakes up at 4 in the morning, doesn't know who we are, who she is, where we are, where she is. Hold on, scratch the door. Come on, baby, I don't know what's going on. Wakes up the beagle downstairs. I move downstairs. My wife and I haven't slept a wink in about 5 years. We're completely exhausted. Seriously, if you Google exhausted, Wikipedia, you'll see a selfie of my wife and I. But it's all good. We wouldn't get rid of them for anything in the world. But we have always to relieve that stress of having them, and that is by watching Lifetime. Anyone else in this room ever watch Lifetime? Thank you for admitting it. People try to pretend, oh, I don't watch Lifetime, but I've seen that movie 5 times. And the reason why I watch it is because you don't even need a brain cell, right? You just sit around, you sponge, you watch it, it's all good shit. But the one thing you gain from watching Lifetime is watch their commercials. They're very beneficial. I'll tell you why. Have you ever seen the commercial for the Fitboard? The Fitboard where you twist, right? You twist, you watch TV. You lose like, I don't know, 10 pounds in 2 days. Your calves are like steel. And if you're not satisfied, you get your money back. If you're not satisfied in 60 seconds, you get your full refund. Right? So my wife and I catch this commercial and we're like, yeah, Pitbull, we're all over it. Right? So we get it. We're watching Lifetime. We're twisted. We're not laughing yet because it's a lot of fun. Not laughing, we're watching Lifetime. All of a sudden, 55 seconds in, bam! We love this. We're laughing. We're hysterical. Our calves are tight. Sold. Sold. You got to get the Fitboard, people. If you haven't seen it, get it. Because we're a little worried about our wine waist. It's a little different for a beer belly, but yeah, the same. And so now, another commercial you guys want to catch is the Colonial Life Insurance commercials. Have you guys seen them?
Who hasn't?
Right? The woman, like, she goes to her mailbox. She's like there. She's there, and she's getting the mail out. And the neighbor comes across the street and says, I'm so sorry about your mom. And she looks at her and she's like, yeah, whatever. Look, here's my first check. She doesn't give a shit her mother's dead. She's got her first check. Right? And then they have the other one where the woman's like having a big spread after the funeral. Everyone's at the house and they're like, wow, look at the spread you put out after Ralph's funeral. And it's like, well, I could have done it without Ralph's Colonial Pen. And that's when I said, my wife is going to have Colonial Pen. She is not putting out finger sandwiches and assorted salads. No way. My wife is putting out a freaking spread when I go, so that's why we have Colonial Pen. That's why we watch Lifetime, and that's why you should too. Now, I just got a little flag here, so I'm just going to wind this down, and I'm just going to remind you guys to always play nice together.
Yeah.
Okay? Always play nice. Always stand together against hate. Always stand together against discrimination. Because we are the people, we are in the village, and now we are doing YMCA just because I can't. No, I'm kidding. Have a great rest of your night. You got your headliner coming up. You guys have been awesome. My name's Karen, and I'm Half Irish, Half Italian.